School game day here on Thanksgiving Day, 2024. Certainly glad that you have tuned in. Presented by Lyuna Labor's Local 663, who remind us, hey, drive safely in those work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. And it is Thanksgiving. Just a reminder, a thankful heart is not only the greatest virtue, but it is the parent of all other virtues. Continuing on our trip around the state here as we welcome in Seneca Indians head football coach Cody Hilburn. Coach Hilburn, thanks so much for your time today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You bet, Coach. And I've talked to a lot of folks around the state, whether it be media, retired coaches, current coaches, talking about the Seneca Indians maybe playing as well as anybody in the state right now. What are some things that you feel as a head coach you're doing really well?
Well, with what we do, we want to run the ball, and that starts with our offensive line. And we lost a ton of skill kids coming into the year, but we did return 4 of our 5 offensive linemen and our tight end. So we knew we were going to have to hang our hat on them, especially early in the season, and we continue to do so. I think we're rushing for 410 yards a game right now, which is the most in school history. And anytime you can run the ball successfully, especially this time of year, you got a chance.
That's kind of going back to those Shannon Crouch days of the late 80s.
Yeah, we wish we would still have Shannon Crouch. I can tell you that.
He could probably still carry it.
He could probably still carry the ball.
Yes, he could. Coach, taking us through this, the postseason at this point, you run into 2 conference teams in Aurora and Mount Vernon. You've played them during the season. How difficult is it to play a team twice in a season? Especially a Mount Vernon team that on the offensive side, they've got some skill guys that are pretty decent. What was that like to play them twice?
Yeah, it's tough. And our philosophy is, our conference historically gets you ready for a playoff run. If you can survive our conference and you got a chance to make a run, well, that's kind of what we believe in. But then all of a sudden you're playing some conference school who's went through the same gauntlet that you have. And they've been battle tested as well. And, even that Aurora team, their record didn't show what kind of football team they were. They were a physical football team that was banged up the entire year and kind of got healthy at the end of the year. And that was a tough game on us. And then you look at Mount Vernon, who we played week 2, and they were a totally different football team than what they were week 2. And Coach Cox does a good job. He made a ton of really good adjustments. They got the all-time leading passer in school history on that team and the all-time leading rusher. And our philosophy defensively is to try to make you one-dimensional. And with that team, you just can't do it. They're very balanced. So it was very tough on our defense to defend those guys.
Coach Cox just doesn't age, does he?
He doesn't, man. He just keeps coming back and keeps getting better.
He was my high school football coach, and I graduated in the 80s. So long time there. Coach, talk about some of the players right now on your team that are really playing well, and maybe a surprise or two that coming into the season you thought he might help you, and they've really kind of stepped up and maybe been better than you and your staff thought they were going to be.
Yeah, we talked about our offensive line coming back, but we had to replace almost every skill position. So starting with our quarterback, Caden Klaus, he was a starter for us on defense last year. So he got a lot of varsity time, but first time playing quarterback. And early in the season, we were kind of a split quarterback system with him and Brody Probert. We've kind of settled him in with quarterback and then using Brody in a variety of different ways. And the other kid is Roman Miller, our running back who's rushed for 1,500 yards. That's a kid as a freshman, played on defense versus Lamar in the semifinal game. And then last year as a sophomore was a full-time defensive starter, but was behind Jackson Mars on offense. And we know, Jackson, how good of a career he had for Seneca. And this is his first chance to kind of be a two-way guy and carry the load for us offensively, and he's done a really good job. The other guy that doesn't get enough credit is our tight end, Hagan Ginger. He's a 3-year starter at tight end, and he's a kid that we can attach and run behind him, or we can flex him out and use him in the passing game. He's actually our leading receiver as well. We flexed him out on a 4th and goal from the 17-yard line right before half against Mount Vernon. He went up and made a play on a fade ball that really gave us some momentum going into halftime.
Coach, you come out of the Mount Vernon game, and I know you're 10, 12, 13 games into the season, so there's going to be bumps and bruises. But outside of just the normal wear and tear on a body that the football season, which is now longer at the high school level than than maybe some think it should be. But outside of that, are you relatively healthy going into this Live for Life Academy?
Yeah, we are. Like you said, we have some bumps and bruises, that's for sure. But I think everybody does, and we try to do some stuff. I tell you, our kids lift extremely hard during the season, and we try to prepare for playing 15 weeks. And I think you do that in the weight room. And our kids, even this week, came in and got after it in the weight room and tried to get our bodies recovered as much as possible going into Saturday.
You got Live for Life on Saturday at 1 p.m., and that's at home. As you look at Live for Life Academy, on film here over the past few days, can you compare them maybe to a team that's already on your schedule that you've played this season? Is there a comparison?
I don't think there is. I wish there were. I think it's the most athletic team I've seen since I've been at Seneca these 4 years. Just at every position, they run so well. They're skilled kids on offense. They have 100 of them. I feel like that can go out and go get the ball. They rotate 3 or 4 running backs. They're comfortable throwing it to several receivers, and then you turn them on defense. And their Mike linebacker was on their 4x1 state championship relay last year, and they're so athletic. And I'm sure earlier in that game, that's something we're going to have to adjust to is their team speed.
Sunday evening, as we go through the scoreboard and we see that Seneca has won, if you are able to win, what are 1 or 2 maybe stats that you're going to look at and say, hey, this is why we won this game, whether it be turnovers, time of possession, penalties? What are some of those stats you're going to look at and say this is how we won?
Yeah, I think you hit the top 2 right there. Time of possession is number 1. The best way we can help our defense out is value the football. And I think we need to possess the football, and we need to run the ball in between the tackles and ride our offensive line. I think we need to go on some long drives early on and finish those drives. And then our defense needs to get a couple takeaways. We need to steal a couple possessions.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, it is Thanksgiving. I've asked all the coaches all day a couple of questions. One, as you reflect maybe on this season or where you are now, your life, what are some things that you're going to be particularly thankful for here on Thanksgiving?
My family, my wife and my kids. I say it all the time, but my wife's the ultimate head coach's wife. She understands the time and the commitment that it takes to do my job the right way. And she's so supportive of that. And even this morning, I was saying, how tired I was and, brain's a little foggy. And she basically called me a wimp and said, you better get your butt in the office and get to work. It's this time of year that you shouldn't be home, and that's, it starts there. Anytime I can come in and feel good about it and not have to worry about things that are going on at home. So my family, her and my 3 girls, the ultimate family that supports me.
Yeah, I was talking, just had Bill Voris on the show earlier, and he's got twin daughters and then a third daughter. And I said, you kind of keep your shotgun loaded all the time, don't you?
Yeah, I don't. My oldest is a freshman in high school, and I'm not loving that right now.
Coaches, it's as you get ready to load your plate here on Thanksgiving, what are you saving room on your plate for? What's your favorite side dish as you look towards Thanksgiving meal today?
I tell you what, I keep it basic. I don't do all the fluff. I'm a turkey, mashed potatoes, and gravy. And if I could get some chicken noodles on top of those mashed potatoes, I'd be in heaven.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, hey, best of luck. 1 p.m. on Saturday there at home in Seneca. And hey, best of luck. Hey, we'll get to do this. You get a win. We'll get to do this next week. We both may be a little bit heavier, but hey, we'll do this all again next week.
That sounds great. Thanks for having me on.
You bet, Coach. Cody Hilburn, Seneca football. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here for the holidays. Back after this.
In the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State campus, Hammons Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetinn.com or call 417-864-6346.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go. creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary. Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part